Today we're going to talk about the difference between hypertrophy training and strength training, otherwise known as bodybuilding versus powerlifting. So, what are they? So, hypertrophy training, the goal is to increase the size of our muscle cells. And for strength training, it's specific for increasing strength in powerlifting at least. It's going to be the bench, squat, and the deadlift. Really, it can be for any compound exercise, compound meaning multi-joint, or it covers multiple joints, multiple muscle groups. And before I get more into this, I just want to say that these two do have correlation with each other. So, hypertrophy training lays the foundation for strength training. And as you see in this diagram that I drew down here, we have a muscle cell, right, and different parts of it. So we have the sacroplasm, which is in here, and we have this myofibril, which are these dots here. So myofibril is composed of contractile proteins. All that means, let's say I were to do a bicep curl, when my bicep is contracting, these are responsible for the contraction. Okay, so now let's apply a stimulus to this muscle cell for it to grow, so weightlifting. Apply the stimulus, what we get when we build muscle is we get more myofibrils inside of the muscle cells. So what does this mean? More myofibrils, more contractile proteins. And when you have more contractile proteins, it means you have more contractile force. So the more force you can apply, which means you're going to have more strength. So in a more general term, I guess you could say, the more muscle you have, the more force you can put out in an exercise, therefore you will be stronger. So there's the correlation between hypertrophy and strength training. Now let's get into rep ranges, differences between each of them. So for hypertrophy, I'd say the golden rep range is 6 to 15 reps. The reason I say 6 to 15 is because you can have a wide variety with hypertrophy training because it doesn't have to be as specific, because it's for muscular growth, not increasing my strength on like one exercise. It's for all of my muscles as a whole. So anything that's, I'd say 15 to 25 reps, so above 15, that's going to be more muscular endurance, and your cardiovascular system might actually take over. So you're not going to want to do, let's say, like 20 reps on a barbell back squat, because that might impede your recovery for a few days because your leg muscles are so big. 20 reps of squatting is a lot for them to handle. So that's why you want to train with different rep schemes for different exercises and different muscle groups. So if you were to squat, you'd probably want, squatting for hypertrophy, you'd probably want like 6 to 8 reps or something like that. And then for strength, this is 3 to 5 rep range, and the reason for this is because strength is expressed as a skill through an exercise. So what that means is if I want to get better at benching, I'm going to need to learn how to do it. So I'm going to need to prime my central nervous system and my motor pathways. Motor pathways being the parts of my nervous system that are responsible for having that muscle memory, like how to actually do the exercise. So that is why specificity is important for strength training. And intensity is important because the reps are so low. Let's say you're benching, again, say you're doing 5 sets of 3, right? So the specificity is there. However, let's say you're only training with like 40% of your 1 rep max or something. That's not intense enough at all. Because if you're doing that and then you try to get a new 1 rep max on the bench press, your central nervous system's not going to be ready for that. So that's why I say you should train anywhere from 65-70% and above to like 90% for like a single or something. And by doing that, by repeatedly training with loads of weight that are higher than 70%, your central nervous system gets more and more used to what that feels like. So when you do go for a new 1 rep max attempt, your body will be ready for it. All right, so the question here, final question, can we combine hypertrophy and strength training, or do bodybuilding and powerlifting? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. I actually do this, and I enjoy it a lot. So, for example, what I do is my program will be focused around squat, benching, and deadlifting. So I'll have, typically, beginning of the week, I'll have a heavy single on squat, followed by some volume work. So like 3 sets of 6, 3 sets of 8. And same for bench and deadlift. End of the week's more like recovery sessions, kind of. So it's like 4 sets of 5 with 70% so it's still specific and intense, but it's less intense than earlier in the week because I'm letting my central nervous system recover, but I'm also priming my motor pathways to learn how to bench, to just really hammer in the technique. So I'll do something like that for powerlifting. And then for the hypertrophy workout, I'll typically have like chest and back workout with bench, back and bicep workout with deadlift, legs with squatting. Basically, I'll probably do like 6 to 8 different exercises, and in this rep range. I usually don't go over 15, just because I don't feel like I need to. And I usually will do like a 6 to 8 rep range exercise at the beginning of it, because I'll have most of my energy. So if I want to train like relatively heavy, let's say say I want to do a heavy dumbbell row for like 8 reps, then I would do that towards the beginning of the workout rather than towards the end of the workout. So as the workout progressively goes on, then the rep range starts to increase a little bit because I'm lowering the weight, but I'm increasing the reps and the intensity. And my volume, it's probably anywhere from, I'd say like 20 to 25 sets per muscle group, or per legs, chest and back. Biceps, triceps, shoulders, probably more like 9 to 15 sets per week. And I feel great doing this. Again, it's not going to be the same. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you could take something away from this. Hope you could learn from it. If you like this kind of informative style, just like leave a comment, say if you like it. Leave some suggestions for me of some other things you'd like to learn about. Like I said, next video I can do a review of splits I've done in the past, and just like other splits you can do in general that'll combine both of these. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.